Hey guys, make sure you watch the end of the video. There is a transition from me teaching you how to use all the different functions of this updated indicator to then actually showing you an example of how powerful this indicator is. So make sure you watch to the end. Thanks. Hi guys, this is the TWA Algo candles with premium multiple time frame functions and filters. So let's get right to it. Right now, everything here is just by default except combo into one. Basically, this toggle right here is what really makes it into an algo. When you have show all three colors, just like the original, it's just giving you three pieces of very vital information separately that you can use your own eyes, right, to decipher if it's a trade that you want to take. So we have Algo preferred. You know, we'll just change this to strength bar, and you see the difference. Let it load. All right, so now you see the difference. You're able to see that within the candle, the body is the strength bar, and that's dark, and then outside the border is green. So that means you have the border, which is the algo, and the body, which is the strength, agreeing with each other, right? The maroon color is saying that the bears are tired and there could be some bullish activity, and the border is already green, right? The wick is from the preferred, which is saying, not yet. And now up here, this is our first candle where all three start to agree, all right? And that's what that looks like when you see them separate. And I think there's a lot of people who enjoy seeing them separate. I love seeing them separate as well. There's a big benefit to it. There really is. But as far as becoming more mechanical and especially getting more mechanical and really more robotic, that would be when you're going to combine it to all three. The show three is a little bit more discretionary because maybe you're going to say, hey, I got 2 out of the 3 here. I'm good. Let's enter, right? But when you go to show 1, it's now going to kind of make that decision for you with your weighted options. And we'll go over that again in a second. There you go. So now you have the show 1, and you can see where we have bright red saying, hey, it's over. We're going down. We all agree, or, let's just go into it now. Perfect time for it. Not we all agree, but hey, 20% of us says that we're really dipping. Another 10% says we're dipping. This is where you're going to put in your weighted measure. And so what it's doing is it's saying for the default settings is the body is the most important. And what's the body? The body is the strength bar. So we're saying this strength bar is the most important weight to our calculation. So if the strength bar is green and the TWA algo coloring is red, then that means that the indicator is going to give more weight, more favor, more preference to the strength bar. Why? Because you told it to. It's weighted more. If you want it to be opposite, you can change the weighting around, right? So let's go ahead and change the weights around so we can see. Let me zoom out. All right, so we'll do it like that. And I think I have Horatio's setting memorized. If not, I know I have my settings memorized, but let me see here. I'll just do my settings because I know it's 100% memorized. So we got 50, 25, 25, 15, 150, and 150. So basically I'm saying put the most amount of weight on the preferred, the second most weight on the strength, because the strength is the body, and then the least most important on the algo candle coloring. All right. The eyeball is done. Oh, still circling. So we let this eyeball circle, and once it's done loading, it will be nice and solid. And of course, we have a timeout. If you get a timeout like this, that's because it wasn't able to keep up with the load time. And this will happen the most when we change so many things at one time. So an easy way to fix this is just hit this toggle here, watch for it to spin, and then just turn it off again. And that just basically reloads it. There we go. So now we have our new coloring. We want to make sure that we come up here to symbol, and we turned off borders and wicks, and we just made the body opacity at 0. For the wicks, you can use the TWA Algo premium add-on, right? And that can provide you wicks. Or if you just want chart wicks, you can just turn on the wicks here. And there is your candle coloring. Now, with this update to the indicator, it's really important that you like your weighted inputs, that you have found comfort in these weighted inputs, that you have made your determination on what should be weighed the strongest, what should be weighed the least. I mean, this is all very, very customizable. Why isn't it just not one color? Why is it not just decided from you? Because there's all different traders in our group. You know, people are going to hate this candle coloring that I have because it is super late. I mean, look at this. This looks good right now, but people want to get in all the way up here. My candle coloring is like getting in all the way down here, right? So not everybody's going to like this candle coloring, and that's why it's important that you make the plan. You do the back testing. You do the work. You decide what you want the candle coloring to be for your trading, because the indicator needs to match your personality. It's so important that the indicators match the individual's personality. There's no right or wrong in trading. There's nothing wrong with getting in at the top here. You know, make sure your risk management's right. There's nothing wrong with getting in the middle here. Make sure your risk management's right. That's it. And what is your comfort level? And not to go into the whole, my favorite subject of psychology, but the brain, the human brain is this, built to help keep us safe. And trading doesn't make us feel safe. An indicator helps make us feel safe. If the indicator doesn't match what we're seeing or doesn't match our personality, it's not going to do its job of keeping you safe, and you're going to get rid of the indicator, right? So the indicator needs to match your personality. That's why there's so many different indicator options, and that's why this indicator can be changed and customized to your liking. So if you have found your weights, you're really comfortable, and you really love this candle coloring, now you can start building filters. Now you can start building filters. So you can have the higher time frame candle coloring on your chart. In the future, you can, let's just go over it. So you can have the higher time frame candle coloring on your chart, and you can come into your filter section, and you see how it says use external filter. The higher time frame candle coloring is already set up for this. So what you can do is you come here and you click on higher time frame candle color external output. Now you click it. Now you watch the eyeball spin around, hit OK, and watch your beautiful candle coloring change. Let it load. We're going to change this to a line chart, just so that way you can see it. There we go. And you can also have it off. So what is this? Why are the candles gray now? They were beautiful red up here, now they're gray. Well, what that means is just the higher time frame candle colors didn't agree with it yet. See how it didn't turn red to here? So now you can start playing with the settings for the higher time frame candle coloring. And what I seem to like is, I really like looking at the 15-minute. So again, it's very, very late. There we go. So the 15-minute today never wavered. It was green the whole time. So on this downward move, the candles were gray, and that helps you go in either direction. Just kind of picture having an evidence line on your chart, like a 1-minute evidence line. The evidence line's red, then just take shorts. But if the candles are green, that means you have the higher time frame candle colorings telling you it's green, and you have the algo candles with your setup saying to look long. So imagine if the evidence line turns green as well. Now you have another indicator saying we're all long, right? So this is what it would look like on a 15-minute chart. And when the candles change to green, that gives you the ideal setup to look only for longs. Can you get this big move down? Absolutely you can. Because we have it on a 15-minute candle coloring setting, and it's not designed to find tops and bottoms. When the candles have no coloring, when it's just gray, just know it's any man's game, right? You have one indicator on a higher time frame saying one thing. You have the algo candles that's using 3 different processing of indicators with different percentages and weights saying another thing, right? So let's say now you want to look at it without the higher time frame. So just click it off. There we go. So now you see the higher time frames green at the bottom, but you see the algo candles are red, and that's why they were gray. And you can just see them visually first and start making changes. So we can do 5-minute increase market sensitivity. So we turn that on. And it's not going to affect the candle colors here because it's not turned on here. It is going to update the indicator because it's running behind the scenes. So that way, if you do click that toggle on, it's already loaded, but it's not going to change anything because you don't have it on, obviously. And now you can see where they match. You can see where they match. All right. So this higher time frame candle coloring has always been a big favorite of mine. There's pros and cons to it. The algo helps fix a lot of those cons, and it helps magnify a lot of the pros. And then, of course, the algo candling by itself is beautiful without the filter. So you don't have to use a filter, but these are great options, especially depending on the market you're trading. All right, so that is one of the filter options, which is the external filter. But there's more. You can use an evidence line from any time frame you like. You can decide if you want to allow the neutral state, which is that gray color, to be of confluence, or you don't want it. Then you can add another evidence line too. You can also add an evidence cloud as well. 2 evidence clouds. So again, we're add-on. So you can put the premium add-on in your chart just so you can see it. So this evidence line can become a filter for you. And you don't even need this indicator because this indicator is built in to the Algo Premium. So unlike the higher time frame candle coloring, unlike other candles in the future that you're going to need to use the external output, you won't have to with this one. All right. So basically this is just a green, and you can see where it's green now. So this would turn the candles gray and then back to red, and then a little bit of green here back to gray and then back to red. So if you didn't want to have this on your chart, you didn't want to have this line on your chart, it can just do it could just change the candles for you. So this is what, 15 seconds. All right. So we just come here to the algo candles. And we find our evidence line. Its default is 15 seconds. We click on that we want to use it. So we go ahead and click it. And you get to see, turn off the higher time frame. And you get to see right here where it turns gray. There you go. So anywhere where they don't match, it turns gray. Bring it to the front so that way you can see it a little bit clearer. If this line is red and you see that the candle is gray, then that means that the algo candles didn't agree. And what do I mean by the algo candles didn't agree? Is we might as well get to it. These two, red one and green one, is not considered. If you want to consider them, you would need to allow this right here to be considered, and that will change it a little bit as well too. So these are, again, very, very customizable to you. Let it load. And there you go. Now you can see how there is a little bit different gray in certain areas, a little bit different red in certain areas. But when they match, there'll be red. When they don't match, there'll be gray. That's how the filters, that's how all of these filters will work. So you can have a 15-second evidence line with a 1-minute evidence line. You could have a 30-second cloud with a 5-minute cloud, like whatever you want to do. And that brings us to the last part of the indicator, is the advanced section. You could say, hey, on one of my layouts, even though I love the algo candles, I will bypass the algo candles and I will only use the filter. So this filter that's on right now is only the evidence line. So that means that when this is done loading, your candle coloring will only be based off the 15-second the 15-second evidence line, because you bypassed everything else. So you could have filters of higher time frame on your chart, cloud on your chart, evidence line on your chart, and the combinations of those things make a candle coloring by itself. You can do that with the bypass function. All right. Dynamically update color of currently forming candle. This would be really, really important, especially on the higher time frames. It's not going to be as noticeable on the lower time frames. Anything even as low as 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, and lower. But the higher time frames, you want to see you want to see more flashing, so you want to use this. If you don't want to see that much flashing at all, just turn that off. Just turn that off. So if you only want to see the color once the candle closes, then turn this off. If you're okay seeing the color before the candle closes, leave it on. All right. All right, next thing. You can change, let me turn the bypass off. You can now change, guys. You can now change the coloring, the candle coloring, for whatever time frame you want. So let me just turn off the filter and get our beautiful algo candles back on here. All right, so now we got our algo candles back on. This is again what it looks like on chart time. We can come down here and you can change it to 15 seconds. So even though we're on a 1-minute chart, you can have candle coloring from a 15-second. This wouldn't have been possible before, but now it's possible. So this got you in even sooner. This turns even sooner. And don't forget, you can change the gradients. Like for me, sometimes too much color is not good. I don't, sometimes it's like, I don't really want to see all this color. So you can go through and you can just change all the gradients to the same color. You can make the green, or you can have just a couple different colors. You can make this one like a darker one, and then you can do a yellow here, and you can do a yellow here, right? And then you can do the darkest red here, and then just make all of these bright red here. So basically, extremely bullish, very little bullish, or less bullish, indecision, and then the same thing here. I said it wrong. Very bearish, a little bit bearish, indecision. All right, and then up here, very bullish, little bullish, indecision. Right? You can change that. You can change your grading scale. And now look at the beautiful coloring from a 15-second. Maybe you don't want a 15-second. Maybe you want a 15-minute. We can do that. Let it load. Boom. Here is your extremely bullish. Here is your little bit of bullish. Here is your very bullish as the market's moving higher. That's on a 15-minute, of course. Of course, I give you the example when it looks awful, but this is real life. This is what a 1-minute time frame would look like with 15-minute candle coloring on. So if you're a trend trader, you know the trend is down, The overall trend is down right now, so you're just looking for a timing way to get into a short until these show you that it's not. Yeah. Come down, do a 5 minute. Anyway, you guys get the point. It's pretty exciting because, again, you can match it to whatever type of personality you have. You can match it to whatever your needs are. And there's still one last thing to show you as we wait for it to load on a 5 minute. There's your 5 minute. All right. I'm going to put it back to 15-second. There we go. And you see how fast it loaded because it was already preloaded from the first time. All right. So now the last thing is you can do show line. Let it load. Okay. Now we just made a line on our chart. And you'll notice, let me zoom in, when the line is green, it's only tracking the low of the candle. When the line is red, it's tracking the high of the candle. Okay? And this is 15 seconds, so I don't have an example. But if it's gray, if the line's gray, then it's going to track the close of the candle. All right? Why is that important? Well, what that allows you to do is you can go into style. You can come down here to bar color and turn it off. And now there's only a line on your chart. Come over here and turn off your wicks. I just told you, when the line's red, it's tracking the highs. So if you're missing the wicks, just know these peaks are the absolute highs. These drops are the absolute low of the candle. So for me, it was very vital that if I was going to have nothing on my chart but a line, and the line's red, show me the absolute high. If the line's green, show me the absolute low, right? Makes it really easy to see those lows, right? Makes it really easy to see those highs. And that, my friends, ends our update video. I hope everybody is as excited about this indicator as me. I guess let's just do one other thing. Again, it's so customizable, guys. So you can have these on as a line, right? Well, guess what you can do? You can come here, turn off the bar, and make this higher time frame candle coloring appear again on your chart. Boom. So now you have candles back on your chart as higher time frame. The line is the algo. They both match. This, remember, the line's a 15 second. 15 second turns green, higher time frame is still red. Now they match, right? Weakness from the 15 second, higher time frame says we're still long. Now they match. Guys, the combinations are endless. Have fun with this. Please post in the chat room. Don't gatekeep. You know, we wouldn't have this indicator if it wasn't for the collaboration with all the professional great traders that we have in our community, all of our funded payout traders in our community. For me being extremely open-minded and having great ears and just listening and observing and knowing that I can learn from everybody. Horatio settings on the algo candles are amazing. Check them out. We have them because he didn't gatekeep them. He shared it with the community. I want you guys sharing in the community. I want you to share your settings, share your combinations, share your wins, share your losses. Celebrate together, grieve together. We'll continue to make this community great together. The indicators will only get better with the more that we communicate with each other and share with each other and grow together. So I want to thank you guys very, very much for being such an amazing community, almost like a second family to me. I love being able to talk to you guys on a daily basis. I love being able to share ideas with everybody, and I hope you guys like this update. Thanks for watching. Hi guys, so I just wanted to give you an example of how you can use this algo update. And you know, if you so chose to put two algos on your chart at one time, you can have one of them be a line chart like I showed you in the video. So we have a line chart here, and then from the algo candles, and then the actual candle coloring is the higher time frame candle colors. So right now the higher time frame saying, hey, we're long. We're long right now, we're long. And the line from the algo candles are saying, no, we're short, right? So that's a good time to either trade against the higher time frame, or it's time to sit back and let the market kind of decide what it wants to do, right? So you can see where they match up, how that can be more powerful, showing weakness, 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 right? And now you can see the turn, right? You can see where the higher time frame was red, and this time, the unlike over here where the algo candles were showing you weakness, the algo candles end up showing you the reversal, and then the what confirms the reversal is those higher time frames turning green, right? And us going from there. So pull it back over here. Here's where they match, right? And then now where they don't match, right? So the algos can show you the reversals, or they can just show you the weakness within the trend, right? It just depends what type of trader you are. And then the higher time frame candle color can show you that overall direction. So if you're a trend trader, maybe you don't go against the higher time frame, right? You don't go against the higher time frame. You wait for them to match. If you're a contrarian trader, if you like to look for reversals, maybe you trade just the algos again, the algo candle coloring against the higher time frame, with a smaller stop loss, because the benefit is you get something like this, and the downside is you get something like that. Just depends on what type of trader you are. But like I said in the video a second ago that you just watched, these candles are very versatile. This indicator can be set up however you like, with whatever type of personality you have. It will work for you. That's the key, okay, is to figure out what type of trader you are and have the indicator set up for your style of trading. There's no right or wrong in trading. We all need emotional support, and that's what this indicator can help deliver. Again, thanks for watching.